Hey there, neighbors and naysayers. Labor Day 2023. I mentioned in the last video heat checking. So this is our boar Lightning, and Lightning's about 4 or 5 years old at this point. And for those of you that don't know what heat checking is, me and Lightning for the last 4 years have walked this alleyway almost every night. And we go along and see if anybody comes up and talks to him, whether they're in heat or not. I know it's rather dusty in here, but we're in the gestation barn. This is a pen of keeper gilts. And then there's a pen of fresh bred sows on the other side. I don't have anything that I expected to be in heat today, but this is just something that we do every single night. We walk the barn, and then I record who is in heat and who's not in heat. Lightning's thinned down a little bit because he's showing his age, but he's about 700 pounds or so. And as you can see, I'm walking him with an aluminum board between me and him. We have an understanding that he won't bite me as long as that board's in between me and him. I picked up the video a little bit late to be able to see him down there fighting with the Y chromosome boars, but he goes down every night and fights with them. Then he'll normally come back here and bang on the gate before I get it shut. It's funny how animals do the same things over and over and over again. But he's trained to do this. He does breed sows naturally, so we put a sow in there every once in a while with him, let him breed something. But that's what we do. Walk him up and down the alleyway, and they'll tell us whether they're in heat or not. So every night I walk my dog up and down the aisleway, and like I said, he's pretty tame. I wouldn't trust anywhere near his mouth, but he's got mighty big tusks at the age that he is.
And he's pretty
for any of you spot enthusiasts that are watching this, he is Ruby Blues on a footprint sow, footprint sow. We have a litter mate sister that we showed at State Fair that we call Ruby. She's in the crate probably for her last litter, although we hope we get her bred one more time. But Lightning breeds a few sows a year. We got some daughters in there right now that we're hoping to go with. Some of the best females that we've raised in the last several years have been his daughters. So we try to keep some in the pipeline before he ages out on us. It's time to buy another boar, or to raise another boar and start training him to heat check, because Lightning's going to start going down on us. Ethan, that gilt just might be in heat, Ethan, as you're pointing to her. Yep. Get in there and see if you can put pressure on her back. We'll show you what we mean. You bring the boar down through here, and they smell. Yep, in heat for sure. What about your black one, Chow? Put pressure on her back too and see. This is things I never knew I needed, was Ethan to climb in the pens and be able to put pressure on her back. I don't think so for Chow. She's raising her head. She's not in. No, you can try, but she's not in, I can tell you. She didn't do anything. She's just going to dance around. So I guess to add on to this video, for those of you that don't know, a gilt when they're in heat, or sow when they're in heat, when they come in heat, they'll stand for pressure and just stand there. They'll lock up. Now, she didn't lock as long as I'd like her to. I noticed she was starting to come in the other day. I probably missed her. We'll just have to make sure we check her again tomorrow, see whether she's still in or not. But that's actually a good thing, because we're going to order semen for her mother, who is right here, next 21 days. And if she happens to come in early, then this one here will be in, and we can breed her instead with the Chester semen, because hog semen comes fresh. So we've got about a 7-day window to get it used. It comes overnight air, and we're in the thick of breeding everything right now, although Ethan doesn't like the Chester, so I shouldn't breed her with a Chester. I should breed her crossbred. But at least she'll be a good backup for her mother, if her mother doesn't come in heat. And then they come in heat every 21 days. Gilts usually will be in 12 to 24 hours. Sows that Chester sow, she stays in at least 24. This crossbred sow was the mother of Ethan's fair pigs this year. She's the first one I've ever seen that will sometimes be in for 36 hours, sometimes be in for 48 hours, sometimes 24 hours. You just never know with her how long she's going to be in. Although I'm judging that off of this time by, and it was rather hot, and everybody's saying they're having trouble with heat. So that's what we do, and then as we're done, we walk back down the alleyway and see who come up and who's talking. Ethan's frantically pointing at his Tamworth and his Hereford sow over here. We got to get the Hereford sow out and check her to see whether she's in heat or not. So with that, I'll say we'll see you next time.